best thing would be you just start by sharing your screen and explain the points one by one. So basically, introduce yourself first. That what do you do? I'll drop your links to your Twitter and YouTube channel in the description. So that would be great. So just introduce yourself at the first. Yeah.
Basically, I started crypto by K Square quite some time ago, but I was not sure about like how to take it forward, right? Because I was new to the market as well. I entered in 2016 in crypto market while I was in second year, right? And by that time, I was not sure how it's gonna go, and I was pursuing BTech at that time, and kind of in computer science, right? So basically, a lot of people at that point of time were like, "Why are you doing this, right? Because we don't feel like it's gonna work out for you and all this stuff." And I was like, "Okay, I am a computer science student. I can see where it's going, right? Because a database which is decentralized and distributed is a first of a kind in the market, right? Nobody else was doing that. So that catch my mind. I started from gambling in crypto. That was kind of a different kind of stuff. But somehow I lost the money I invested and I came back to Zeppay. Zeppay was an exchange in 2017, which was running from 2015 or 14, I guess. So went back to the exchange to buy some, and there was a price fluctuation of approximately 50% in 3 days.
Wow.
So that catch my mind, and I was like, okay, how it's this stuff different? How it's like growing in price? Because for me, it was Bitcoin was like gems from Clash of Clans in the beginning, right? The game that we used to play. And after that, we started. I met Ankit. Ankit was also pretty sure about it. Yeah, this could be something big, and we started exploring it. We kind of raised money as well, kind of doing different, because college students don't have any kind of job, right? So we were doing things like commission based, and from there, I and Ankit started collecting money for doing stuff for people. Like, okay, you want to deliver this stuff there, pay us this much, we'll do this for you. Okay, and somehow we reached a point of 1 lakh rupees, and we invested it in a fraud ICO, and we lost it in somewhere around 3 days. Okay, that was a big hit for me and Ankit both, because it was a big amount for us that time. And after that, Ankit kind of left the market for some time because he needed some time to like understand how to get in the market again. And I somehow arranged a lot of money again from the market. And again, I started understanding the charts, and I started investing in different cryptocurrencies, which were in the top 20, 30 places at that time. And somehow Tron was a coin that peaked, and in 7 days I made a good profit, like somewhere around 36x in 7 days on a particular investment, and my mind was blown off. So after that, I started researching like how this happened. Like, why did it blown up 36x? Because it just cannot happen in 6 to 7 days. It's a very different thing if you look from a stock market's perspective. Okay, so I started researching. So there was this guy.
In stock market,
Yeah.
20-30% a year, and then here you have suddenly 2x, 3x, 6x story going on. So it's very different.
Seriously, people really, you won't believe, families at that time were not able to understand that this could be true, that people can make 10x, 20x in a month or two, right? And just like that, I found John McAfee on the internet, that he's kind of a guy who built the first antivirus, and he's shilling cryptocurrencies at that time. I researched him. Because of him, I created an account on Twitter, and after that, I put on the bell notifications at that, because I was not aware of trading right at that time. So kind of put on the bell notification. I was waiting patiently that he'll do it something, right? Because for me, he was the indicator of that time. And suddenly one day he tweeted about Verge. I invested 20 or 30,000 rupees in it. And it again 30x or 20x, 27 or 30x something.
Wow.
Got a mining machine from that. It was kind of a different kind of perspective. If you'll see from a computer, I guess you are from computer science as well, right?
I'm in the first year, so it's all like very new for me.
Okay. Basically, you're quite early right now.
Yeah. So that's the reason why people were like curious that bro, how is this working? Like, we don't know this thing can happen at 30-40x returns in a year, so it's crazy thing. So yeah, that's the reason.
Yeah, see.
So
How you ended up in the market? Like you're in first year, like people in first year in college, I want to live the life, just So
actually,
how you end up in college?
I had no clue about this. So I started investing when it was, I think, I was in class 11th or 12th. So at that time,
Okay,
it was very small amount of money, around 500 or 1,000 rupees, whatever I could save up a month, I would just put it into Bitcoin. I like at that point of time, I didn't knew that other coins also existed. So because like after the 2017 hype, I knew that only Bitcoin is the thing, and I have to just go and buy Bitcoins. So
okay,
whatever I could say, I just put it into Bitcoin. And then in the year 2020, I think in August, Pareen DM'd me like on Twitter, and he said that, bro, you want to be a creator on crypto because your tweets are about Bitcoin, you are posting about all those things so on Twitter. So after talking to him for a few months, I realized, okay, there are other altcoins which we can use to boost our BTC values and stuff, and all
okay.
those things that can happen. Yeah, so I'm not that good at chart reading, so that's the reason why I called you. But yeah, basic I
So I guess starting can take some time, but I guess you will be there pretty soon because you're doing great in terms of I can see on Twitter as well. Your buying selling is good. This kind of stuff like crashes happen in the market, and if you look at the big picture, we'll see at the long term perspective. Even the 1990s crash and 2008 crash of stock markets were like the biggest buying opportunity, right? So crashes are nothing, but we have to like zoom out, right? Even if this is a crash, it will recover faster than the previous bear market because now the game has changed. People have noticed, governments have noticed, and they're working on it, right? So this thing won't crash for like stay in a bear market for two and 3 years. That's not gonna happen now.
yeah.
And a lot of things have changed. How you introduce your family that you're gonna work in crypto?
At
That
first,
might be a very difficult task for you to do because it was for me.
yeah, it was very difficult. Actually, at first, my dad thought that my son is just working in some shady business and making money in some illegal way. So at first, like it was very difficult to explain for me to them that yeah, this thing happens in all kinds. And then he was like very skeptical that see, I know about stocks that this company exists and we buy shares, but what is this thing? How can something go up this much in a year? So later on, like still try to explain to them, but they are not at all interested. It seems right now, but yeah, they understand Bitcoin about it, but not the altcoins that much. So yeah, but still they are not that.
I guess. Yeah, I guess it goes for every family member, every elder in the family, right?
Yeah, yeah,
For my parents and elder sisters and brothers, it was the same scenario that they were like, okay, somebody has taught him some kind of MLM scheme and shown him to get rich quick schemes that he'll get a car in a year or something like that. I literally made the money for the car I told my family I'll buy, but I didn't buy it. I Instead of that, I got into the mining. But yeah, I proved them wrong because the whole lot of a scenario at that moment when I went to actually my brother went to an accident. Everybody was in the hospital, right? So I knew that yeah, some kind of like we need money to hold that thing up, right? Because right now he's still in coma since 2017. So everybody was like, it was like 3 days from the operation, and after that 3 days I was like pretty sure because it took me 3 months to understand Bitcoin properly, like how the security works and all those things, kind of how the cryptography. Because I was studying in third year, cryptography was my topic, was a subject. So it was very quickly or very easy to understand how Bitcoin's technology is based at that particular point of time. And suddenly I went into the room when I was completely sure about it. In the hospital room, everybody was sitting, a lot of people were sitting there. And I was like, okay, give me 4 to 5 lakhs and I'll be set for life. Okay, so that I'll make millions of money and you won't have to pay for anything. At that point of time, Bitcoin was somewhere around 30 or 40,000, I guess.
wow,
So I was getting 20,000, 25,000 bits in 1,000 rupees back then. So That was the point. Everybody laughed at me, and everybody was like, "Okay, somebody taught him a get rich quick scheme, and he's blown. Or his mind is like entrapped in that." And I was pretty sure. From there, it went to 2.5, and I somehow traded 2 to 5 thousand into 1 lakh rupees, and gifted my dad a watch right on his retirement day. So he was like, "Where did you play this gambling thing stuff, and you bought this watch for me?" Because I was not earning that amount anywhere. So my sister told my dad that he's doing this stuff, this cryptocurrency thing, and from there he got this particular watch for you. Then my family a little bit interest, not completely. They gave me 60 to 70,000 to invest at that time, but it was not big enough. Yet Tron and Verge helped me to grow that portfolio at a big time. That helped me a lot to stay in the market. You won't believe, I also was trapped in the bear market, not with the entire portfolio, but 60% was in there, and that 60% was reduced like approximately 10%. 95%, I was trapped in 95% crash. I bought Ethereum at the top with that 60%, and it came down, right? And I was like, okay, 50% गिर गया, अब नहीं गिरेगा, it won't go down from here, right? It was like breathtaking scenario for you when you see your portfolio going 95% crash for the first time. Like my mind was blown away. Like I thought it's the end of the world. This technology is not going to work. This is a dead end. Then suddenly things changed. I went to Bangalore. You saw that video where I was asking some questions to Sandeep, founder of Matic. So there I met Siddharth, Nishal, and other people. They were like uh, kind of a transparent mirror, right? They showed me how this thing is working and how where it's going. So Siddharth told me, and there were a lot of developers I saw who were working, and a lot of people who were getting involved. A lot of millionaires were there, and they were trying to understand that but what would be the next big project. And you can see Matic turned out to be the best of this year. From there, I got the perspective last year, yeah, this could be really big, and now it cannot be stopped because it has spread widely. Mass adoption is already here. We can say that a lot of people will get on board when the people who don't give a shit about this technology will start using it at some point, right? Because they don't understand it, but still they'll use it to pay or whatever thing to earn interest in DeFi protocol or whatever. Like Kevin O'Reilly is doing, or Real or something is named that Shark Tank member.
Yeah, yeah.
So people are doing kind of stuff. Then they're now understanding it. Nikhil Chinappa, I met him in somewhere around in 2020 or something. And it was a 20-30 seconds meet because he's a busy guy and famous and all. We just bumped him, right? I don't even know he'll remember me or not. That was a 20-30 second meet, and I told him I'm buying Bitcoin. I guess I remember him saying that I have bought some too. I don't remember exactly because I was in Goa. I was pretty high at that time. So that was the time when I met him, and I didn't know that he will become my crypto influencer this year, right?
Yeah.
So times are changing. We're getting mass adoption.
Yeah, so let's talk about all those things about charts. So, how do you suggest the
Yeah, yeah.
listeners who are watching this video to get started with short-term analysis or reading charts and stuff? How can they just get started on this?
For the beginners, I guess the best thing to do right now is that they should go for the understanding of how price action works, right? Support, resistance, and different candle patterns. Because that's the most basic thing to understand the market, like how you identify something as a support. Because there are things, there are point in charts where you cannot call it as support. Like there's a long-term downtrend coming, and suddenly it calms down. So we cannot, and it goes sideways, right? At a certain price level. Suppose it's $1. So we cannot say that's a support, right? Because that's a point of indecision in the market. People are neither buying nor they're selling. So they're not much of a buy pressure nor sell pressure. So we are in a sideways trading, and we cannot call that particular instance a support, right? So what people do at this point, they go into the market on YouTube and they try to find out support, right? And there the influences what they're explaining is try to connect a 3 or 4 wicks, bottom of 4 wicks, draw horizontal line, that's your support. But that doesn't happen that way. Buy pressure and support is at a point from where price is pushing backward. Right? Suppose price fell from $2 to $1, and after that it jumped with 10%, 20% approximately, and that confirms that that particular $1 level is a buy zone or support. Basically, support is a demand zone, nothing else. There's the buyers are more and the sellers are less. The multiple times it hits that particular support level, the maximum strong strength, the strong it becomes, the strong the support becomes, right? And it's difficult to break. Once it breaks, if you'll allow me, I'll share my screen. I'll show you how this works. Please allow it to share the screen.
Uh, do I get a pop-up or something?
Screen sharing. Let me check. Post disabled participant screen sharing. I'm getting a pop-up.
How to enable that? Okay, wait more. I'm making you the host. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah. So I think now you can share it.
Okay. If you see right now in the screen,
Yeah.
on the chart, uh, you will see that this particular line here, 47,000, was a critical support, right? The price came here, tested it, bounced back. And I'll have to clear that we'll never see perfect supports, right? That price is coming down exactly at that particular level, dollar by dollar, cent by cent, and jumping, right? So this particular was a support. As you can see here, it acted as resistance, then it flipped into support, made a higher high, then a higher low. Again, we went up. Okay, then this is the point where we have to understand that the price the price action is turning bearish, right? We saw this is kind of a candle, which is called spinning top, which show the trend reversal. This is kind of a stuff for beginners that they need to understand to cite such kind of trends, right? When bear market could be coming or there's a crash coming. So we jumped from this support. This clarified that this support is strong. But when we moved up from here, this shows that there is a lower high created here, right? And if you'll see in the RSI was also showing that lower highs have started to appear in the RSI chart while we were trending upwards. While this higher highs were made, RSI was making continuously higher lows. And then we had a higher low on chart, and this was the confirmation that if you connect the dots here, right, you will see a bearish continuation here. Just give me 1 second. Why it's not zooming up? Okay, no issue. If you connect the dots here, suppose I'm connecting this top from this. So this is called a trending resistance created here, right? And prices have started to fall down. We got a kind of spinning top here. Okay, so this is showing that the market might reverse here. But all the moving averages were broken and we had a higher low. RSI was also indicating the bearish trend. So once this candle closed below this support of 47,000, the market started to rapidly fall from here, and we found support somewhere 30,000, which was this buy zone. I longed and bought here with multiple trades in this zone because this is the current buy zone. So basically, if beginners want to understand to start trading, the best thing is to understand how support works and what are the candle patterns and how those candle patterns are traded, right? Doji candles and different kind of stuff, hammer and all those stuff. Because just one here we can see there are two spinning tops. Okay, but I waited for this particular candle, this bearish engulfing to appear on the chart, right? This was the particular signal for me that okay, the market is going down, right? And we came down. I like a trader, I like book profit at 20-day moving average. This is the 50-day dark blue one and 100-day. Okay, I was pretty sure that we're gonna bounce from here because it was 100-day and we had a sharp crash. Okay, but we were not able to recover the moving averages properly, and so it was perfectly confirmed that the market's gonna crash. Right, and right now market is in indecision, still in indecision where we're gonna head. Right, in a bear market or bull market. So basically, price action is the key to begin with for new people. It will help you to understand the market perfectly, and after that, you can move to RSI. Using RSI is also a good thing to trade intraday, long term, all the scenarios, right? And to identify trends, especially. MACD comes after RSI. So, three basics of starting for beginners: learn how support resistance work. There are different kinds of support: trending support, trending resistance, horizontal support, horizontal resistance, and horizontal sometimes can also be like little flip downwards. Okay, so these are the things that we need to understand first. Then we come to the candle patterns, and then chart patterns like head and shoulder and all this stuff, triangles and all this stuff. So this is the best way to go, level by level, right? I hope you got the answer for the beginners.
Perfect, perfect. So, the next thing that most of the people had doubts were that right now in this scenario, where are we heading towards? So, like, is this a bearish market or still you expect to all the altcoins to pump? Because, like, if you look at the BTC charts of altcoins like Ethereum, still there is time left to reach the previous all-time high, another old altcoins. So, if you look at them, so how do you see the market scenario right now?
Yeah. Right now, as we went through a very sharp crash, if you'll see, it was a like if we'll go for the monthly chart here, if you look in the monthly chart, that was a very sharp crash, right? This was an indecision candle, and then we fell below. Okay, and if you'll see weekly chart, so we had a curvy top here. This is kind of a pattern that also suggests that the market is about to go down, right? Due to this bearish pattern right now that we have, the market is bearish, but in short term, I guess three to like if you go to the through the chart of 2017's bull run, you will see these kind of crashes are very normal, right? This kind of crashes happened very frequently during that bull run as well. Uh, Let me, it is the, okay, Bitstamp chart. So I'll show you something. This is the 2017 bull run. And if you'll see here, this was also a 42% crash, I guess. This one, sorry, this one. Yeah, it's also a 40% crash back then, right? And people are still thinking that this might, and I guess this time we had a 52% crash somewhere around this time, right? It's because the DeFi long and shorts were not there in 2017, right? Collateral positions were not there. So multiple collateral positions also got liquidated because of their over leveraged loans. The loan to value ratio, they took the maximum loan possible on their collateral, and they started to get erased from the market. That was the reason we got this 13 or 13.5% extra. Okay, and if there this buy zone is the strongest support right now, I think we'll get a reversal from here. There might be a reversal, but if we move on the bigger time frame, like whenever there's a crash and you're indecision point at an indecision point that you cannot understand how market's going, you need to look at the bigger picture. Like everybody says zoom out. So zoom out doesn't mean that we have to go to the monthly chart, right? It's a different scenario. This is more scary than the daily time frame. So zoom out basically means this. Sorry. So we are in an uptrend, and if you see, there's nothing wrong going on in the market, right? This is a yearly kind of chart, all-time chart. This is called logarithmic chart.
Yeah, yeah.
If we draw support from here, we have bounced from this line multiple times. Okay. And this gives a lot of data to understand if the bull run is intact or not, right? So if you'll see, this particular all-time high was 16 times of the previous all-time high. This is a 2017 bull run top. And it was a 16x from the previous all-time high, which was in 2014, kind of when we crashed just before that. So I guess we have just done 3x right now. So even if we are doing a 10 or 5, 7x, so we could be reaching somewhere around from this particular point. Sorry. From here, even if you are doing some sort of 5x or something, 180, even if you are doing 600, then 1,37,000 is very easily achievable, right? And I'm expecting somewhere around uh, 3 lakh 20,000 at the top, right? But it depends. Like right now, we're in a situation where market can go down for the certain levels, but a bull run is still intact. We might be going into a bear market for 1 or 2 months, like 3 to 7 weeks. After that, we'll start moving up again, and then we'll make higher highs again in the market. So basically, according to me right now, according to this particular chart, this is kind of a super cycle. You might have heard about the dot-com bubble, right? In which Amazon fell from 112 to $5. So according to me, we are in that kind of stuff, and this time price is going to soar high, right? And then we'll have the dot-com crash. So that's why I'm expecting 3 lakh 20 for Bitcoin and 27 for Ethereum. That's a like top target. If I have to take a top, which could be a maximum, taking the maximum side, 320 is that, right? But I never go for the top to like sell at the top. I always book profit at levels. So if we draw Fibonacci in the 1 day and other different charts, you will see multiple levels that where we can book profit. Even if I am drawing a Fibonacci here, or extension, this is kind of a tool to understand. Suppose this is the local top, and this from there, it's not going to go below this. Okay. So there are multiple levels. 100% is a level which is important, 161% and 261%. These are the levels. So even if we head for 261%, we will end up somewhere around $2 lakh. So that's how I'm targeting my take profit areas. So Fibonacci extension, when price is in price discovery mode, it helps a lot to understand where you should put your stop losses. And right now, there's nothing to be worried about. I guess we are some kind of flipping this previous all-time high on the monthly chart.
Yeah.
That's just a normal scenario happening here. Like we did it here as well, right? If you see. And then we moved higher. I guess that's what's happening here. And we'll again move higher to like 1,90,000. Anything could be the top, right? Because it depends on the big movers. They makes the market move.
Yeah.
So we have to go by the chart to book our profits. And right now we are in a bull market. Nothing has went wrong. No level has been broken. And the bull market is completely intact, according to me.
Also, there is one more question. Actually, I heard from someone else who is also a chart reader. He said that if you look at the logarithmic chart, it's just like it somewhat goes down, then it again goes up, and again it goes down and goes up. So, like with time, maybe in the year around 2050 or somewhat like that, we would have so huge of a Bitcoin market cap that the volatility of price would be very less. So he said that we ideally have to be in the next 1 or 2 bull runs to make the maximum profit, because after that point it will be very less.
Market will come exactly.
So
Yes.
money is going to be made after that cycle.
See here, even if you join the dots here, right? So you can see there's some kind of 8 million according to this line, right? If you're going forward with this particular parallel channel. So 8 million is somewhere at the top, right? And we have 2 bull cycles left. So we can end up somewhere around 1 million to $3-4 million per Bitcoin by the end of this decade, according to me. Because there's a lot of money printing going on in the world, and that's all gonna come into Bitcoin. Because right now, this is the best hedge against the inflation. Gold is the worst hedge for the current time because it does not protect us from inflation. If you buy gold, you have to spend a lot more on it for the rest of your life. You're holding it in its security. So that's the thing. That's the main reason I don't like gold and I prefer Bitcoin, right? Because it's more secure, it's portable, it's easy to use, and it has a good hedge value, right, against the dollar or any fiat currency. So that's why we're gonna peak higher, and we will reach a certain point where the market volatility will come down for sure. Because all the entire money in the world will come and flow into this, and it will at some point will slow down, just like gold has slowed down today,
Yeah.
right? And at that point, Bitcoin won't be making moves, but different products which will be based on this particular technology, blockchain, will be still moving. And at that time, people need to have a better understanding of how value investing works to find a better 10x or 20, whatever at that time inflation would be, the volatility would be in the market, to catch those 10x and 5x. But yeah, that person is perfectly right, because the market will calm down in few years, and it will like trade in a range, in a stable range, right?
So yeah, so that was pretty much about it. So last another question is that why do people prefer to have a look at the BTC chart and not the USD or INR chart? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Exactly. Many people, like if you see the stock market traders who have entered, they don't prefer right now the BTC chart. But if you ask a person who has been in the sector for the space for quite some time, they will tell you that BTC charts does matter. So if we'll take even SXP for an example, first, right, let's check the USD chart first. If you'll see SXP's USD chart, so if you see this chart, we are not able to understand like how the where the price is about to go, right? So if we draw a support here, so we are sitting at some kind of support here, yeah, right? But altcoins does not really behave on their own. They have to look at Bitcoin. So if you see in the chart or in the coin market cap application, Bitcoin has the largest dominance right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so the biggest money is in Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin is making moves, cash flows, right, at a large amount, with a large amount. Large number makes move from altcoin and shifts to Bitcoin. And that's the goal of all the Bitcoiners maximalists. They come into altcoins just to make money so that they can make more Bitcoin out of it. And they have nothing else to do with altcoins. And those are the people who are called whales, right? They have big bags of things, every coin. And due to those fluctuations, those things that they sell and buy in the market, all coins, things move. And let's go to the BTC chart to have a quite clear understanding how why we depend on the BTC chart more. Even if you see SX, let's take SXP for example. I guess it's not working right now. So if you see, we are still in an uptrend, right? The trend has not ended yet for the SXP chart, and there are a lot of things to be done here. And most of the altcoins you'll see that have done 10x, 20x yet are looking just similar to this chart. Like Zelica is also looking similar, right? So a lot of money has still has to be flown from Bitcoin to altcoin and then back to Bitcoin. That's how cycle works. If you see the cycles of previous two bull cycles from 2014 and 17, you will see that the data is showing first Bitcoin moves, then large market cap moves, then medium market cap moves, and then small market moves, right? So you have to look at the Bitcoin chart to understand when the money is about to leave Bitcoin. Right? If you see if you see here, there's an indecision in Bitcoin chart in SXP. So this was a signal that SXP and Bitcoin chart is showing that SXP will fall. This was the confirmation candle, and we fell. Retested the trending resistance line, and then it was confirmed with a higher low. Yes, the market's going to go down, just like it happened in Bitcoin. And you know, when Bitcoin falls, altcoin falls more, because people come out of altcoin in instant because they know that it's going to fall fast. That's kind of a human psychology. you will find better supports and price movements in Bitcoin charts for altcoins, especially which are a bit small, and that will help you to understand where market is going to go. Sir. Especially in the case when a coin is in all-time high scenario, there are only two things that you can do. You can draw a Fibonacci extension, RSI, three things actually, RSI, and the third thing is BTC pair. The BTC pair will show you where is the next resistance in the chart. Due to most people following BTC pair in the all-time high scenarios, BTC resistance will work much better, even better than the Fibonacci resistance.
Got it. Yeah. So, yeah, last question is which coins do you expect to give good returns in the next 2 or 3 months?
Okay. So best coins to give returns, like we have to go for the fundamentals. I'm bullish on SXP, but quite lot of projects. Like if Matic comes down to a better buying price zone, I'll get into Matic as well. Zilliqa is really good project, and I'll definitely tell people to stay away from Dogecoin, Shiba Coin, and all those coins. The people who are new, right? Because they don't know when to exit and enter those coins, and they can sell at any point of time in the market. So the perfect coins to enter right now, according to me, like will be coins like BNB. We have to find a certain buy zone for those coins, right? We just cannot enter right now. We have to wait for the market to give certain indication that market's gonna not gonna go down from here, and either it can go sideways or will move up. We have to wait for the signals. But according to the fundamentals, BNB is good, Zilliqa is good. Uh, SXP is a bit risky project, but they have a lot of upgrades incoming. That's also good. And other projects like to go for is I'm not able to remember all of them right now. Let me check. I, kind of DeFi coins are also good. Reef is not pumped yet. Reef is going to sideways since that controversy with the FTX exchange. So I guess they have just launched their particular chain, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what the name of that chain they have given it, but it's also a good point to go into because it has created a very strong support, right? It's not going below that support. So it could be a good investment, and DeFi summer is out just to come hit in. So Reef is a DeFi coin. Kava is good. Filecoin is very amazing. Even if Filecoin is you get trapped in Filecoin in a bear market, you can hold it for the long term because it's a really good project to hold on to. Because as you are also learning Solidity, and I'm also learning doing projects on Solidity. So Filecoin is something that will like intensify the dApps. Like it's kind of a decentralized Amazon web service.
yeah.
That's a really good point to hold for the long term. Binance is good. One these coins are something that these DeFi coins went through some kind of controversies previously. ETH definitely is the best thing to hold. Chiliz, right now you have to wait for the NFT market move again to it. Then we can go for Chiliz. And DeFi coin, I will like suggest DeFi coins because in summer during this time, DeFi coin are the best to perform, right? DeFi season that we see. So Compound, Zilliqa is also entering DeFi. Leaf is already DeFi. So basically focus on more on DeFi and big market caps like after Ethereum and before coins like SXP, the coins that lie in between like Bank Protocol. We are not seeing much of the Oracle field to be like explode. Only three or four like DR coin is there, Bank Protocol is there. Clayton, I guess, is doing something similar. I don't remember exactly. Chainlink is not, it's for sure that Chainlink is not gonna be the king of the market for long, right? There's gonna be someone coming, entering into the market and making some changes, taking some part of Chainlink. They may be the number one, but they cannot just take all the money from everybody, right? So Ban protocol will be there. Unicoin, I don't like it that much because it's nothing more than a governance token right now for Uniswap platform, and they give rewards in Uniswap, and it has a big market cap as well. So I'm not expecting that big move from this point. Apart from that, I guess exchange token like WRX, which is really good, BNB, Oracle coins, and DeFi coins like uh, just like I just mentioned, Compound, Aave, Reef, Kava, and 1 inch kind of stuff. These gonna make good moves because I'm expecting they have not made a quite in terms of profits as compared to other coins in the DeFi sector. So I think they are doing a lot of things. All of them have launched their own chains. SXP has launched their own chain. Kava has launched their own swapping protocol, cross-chain swapping protocol. So these things are gonna boom once the market calms down and the indecision sentiment that where's the market heading or like gets diminished from the market.
Great. Basically, I'm concluding all of this now. So thanks for joining in. I'll drop your social media
Yeah,
link in
anytime.
the description. Yeah. So you guys can definitely go and follow him on Twitter and YouTube channel. You have a YouTube channel also, right? I saw that one. Yeah, yeah.
Basically, I started that for fun, but right now I'm doing it with more seriousness because I can see people are getting like kind of scammed in the market. So I thought of going for it, and I'm also planning for a startup right now. But due to this lockdown, it got delayed. We also moved in different parts of cities and states to understand how crypto is like evolving in those sectors, those states of the city or a country, to understand like where we can start. We found a certain cities to start, but as you know, the second wave of corona, which has like created a disaster in the country, just hit in. So we have like kind of slowed down right now and working more on the business model. So yeah.
Great. So I'll share all your links down in the description, and you guys can definitely go and follow him. So that was all for today's video. I think it was a pretty long one, right? Around 30 minutes plus. Yeah. So great. Thanks for joining in. So I'm stopping the recording right